Fuck me. Fuck me.
Sexual style.
Fuck me. Football. Welcome to episode 25. Two white guys in the 30s.
Lay you down. 25.
We got some special games for you guys today. We got football playoffs coming up, so we're going to hurry along with that so we can watch some football. Both of our teams are not in it. James, do you want to start us off with what you've got?
Yes, let's play that great football quiz mid-roll. You know how this goes. I've developed a football quiz here that should test all of your knowledge for all things football, and we're going to see how well you do. There is a theme to this one for this go-round, and as you'll see here in a moment, it is going to be Football Stats Quiz GOAT Edition, and these are all related to the one and only football GOAT, Blake Bortles. So to start us off, AJ, we're going to have some naming rules for this in that all your answers must start with Blake Bortles or they will not be correct. To begin with, we're going to start with the 2023 regular season NFL leaders. You can see the categories are here in these columns, and then you tell me which one you would like to submit an answer for, or we can just go down in order. Let's start off with what I think is an easy one here.
Sure. Let's start off with most passes completed.
And
Blake Bortles.
Remember, all answers must start with Blake Bortles and.
Blake Bortles and Patrick Mahomes.
That is incorrect, unfortunately, for strike number one, AJ. The NFC East features very prominently in the left column here.
Well, Blake Bortles and Dak Prescott.
That is correct. Blake Bortles and Dak Prescott have combined for 410 completed passes this season.
All right, longest rush. Let's say Blake Bortles and Christian McCaffrey.
That is incorrect. I'm sorry. That is strike number two. For the longest rush, I will say it is a team that probably bottom five of the NFL in terms of offensive production.
Oh, Eagles. No. Jets. Breece Hall.
It is Blake Bortles and Breece Hall who combined for a 83-yard rush. I think it was like the last 2 weeks of the season that happened. He just
so when I was out of the
free.
When I was out of the playoffs already and didn't notice, yeah, because
yes.
that makes a lot more sense.
All right, AJ, you're sitting on 2 strikes. We'll make it a 5-strike system because this one is a little challenging, I suppose.
Passing touchdowns, Blake Bortles and Dak Prescott.
That is correct. Blake Bortles and Dak Prescott combined for 36 passing touchdowns, leading the league in the regular season.
Longest pass. Blake Bortles and Dak Prescott. That CeeDee Lamb one, I'm thinking.
That is correct. Blake Bortles and Dak Prescott combined to throw a 92-yard pass.
Yeah, I remember
How you
that.
combined to throw one pass? Well, Blake Bortles was there in spirit guiding his own.
So you got longest receptions and most receptions. So Blake Bortles and
Yes.
CeeDee Lamb.
That is correct. Blake Bortles and CeeDee Lamb managed to haul in a 92-yard reception from Dak Prescott.
Rushing touchdowns. I actually don't know. I don't think I know that one. Oh, yeah, I do. Blake Bortles
yes, you do.
and Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, that is strike number 3, my friend.
Really? It's
There is
not.
one running back this year who has dominated rushing touchdowns to an offensive degree. Now, I'll give you a bonus hint here that if you're including both rushing and receiving touchdowns, this running back tied Christian McCaffrey for the most touchdowns this year at 23. However, Christian McCaffrey, I don't even think was close to this guy's number of rushing touchdowns.
Well, it's got to be Mostert then. He would have been. I know he was up there.
That is correct. Raheem Mostert with 18 rushing touchdowns this year.
See,
Tough
I knew
to
he
stop.
had. I knew he had about that, but I thought McCaffrey had about that. So I guess I was just wrong on McCaffrey. Well, I'll think about that
Also,
one for a
I just
second.
noticed that your name is Iron E Elixer Singleton,
Oh.
and I am overjoyed and also saddened that it took us this long to make that.
That connection there, yeah. For the interceptions one, is that most interceptions thrown or like a DB with his interceptions?
No, this is a DB who leads the league in
We'll
picks.
do that one. That is an easy one to do. Blake Bortles and Deron Bland.
Correct.
For receptions, so originally I was thinking Puka, but I'll go ahead and just go with the one that also has all the yards. So I'll just go Blake Bortles and CeeDee Lamb.
That is correct. While Puka did set the rookie receiving record this year, I believe, with something like 90-something receptions or whatever, or no, 100 and something.
He hit 100 something,
or
so
whatever.
It was close
Yeah,
to
I think it
the
was
to the league.
116.
Blake Bortles and Tyreek Hill, though.
That is correct. I was actually just looking it up because I realized, according to my answer chart, I forgot to include it. But yes, Tyreek Hill had 1,799 receiving yards with Blake Bortles' help.
CeeDee Lamb had 17 something. I know he hit 17. Receiving touchdowns. I think I know this one because I had him on my team, and I thought he was the worst of the two that I got. Remember, you were there for the draft, and I picked him up by accident because I'm going to go with Blake Bortles and Mike Evans.
That is correct. There was actually a tie, so I would have accepted either name. But Blake Bortles, Mike Evans, and Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
Blake Bortles managed to combine for 13 receiving touchdowns with either of those receivers this year. So out of what we've got left here, AJ, in my personal opinion, I think you're sitting on 3 strikes at the moment out of 5. I think the rushing yards and the sacks leaders are pretty obvious. I think the rushing attempts and the pass attempts are a little tricky.
Tackles is the hardest one.
If you manage to pull that, I would be surprised.
That's by far the hardest one.
Passing yards, I think, is pretty obvious as well.
Let's go to the tackles.
3 easy ones.
But if you give me a little bit of help, I bet you I can get it.
I bet you fucking can't.
If you give me...
I'll give you the guy's first name. How about that? His name is Foyesade.
Alukin, right? Alukin?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, he's a linebacker. And so I was going to say, if you give me the team, I'll probably give you their leading tackler, but I'm going to need a team because I don't know. Bobby Wagner would have been my second guess. Sack leaders, Blake Bortles, and it might be the Bengals guy, but I don't remember his name, so I'm going to go with TJ Watt.
That is correct. Always a safe bet to guess TJ Watt. Still got 2 gimmies here in what I feel are passing yards and rushing yards.
Well, I'll never get the pass attempts, so I'm going to say the same for passing yards and pass attempts with Blake Bortles and Dak Prescott. I mean, I can't think.
That is strike number 4.
Let me change that to Blake Bortles and Tua.
For passing yards, yes, that is correct.
Rushing yards, Blake Bortles and Christian McCaffrey.
That is correct.
The attempts one is going to be so difficult. The attempt one is going to be pretty fucking easy, I think.
Yeah, I fucked it up.
Well, that's good because
stupid bitch.
Both let's say rushing attempts, Blake Bortles and Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Blake Bortles and Sam Howell.
Bortles. Let's go ahead and move on to a fan favorite. Blake Bortles and receiving plus rushing. So in other words, no passing touchdowns counted this time. Total touchdowns for Eagles players. This year there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different Eagles players who scored a touchdown, not counting defensive players, mind you. Only rushing and receiving.
Okay, well, Hurts is 15. He's the only one that has 15 on the team. Hurts
What's
and
your
Blake
answer?
Bortles. Well, the next two are Blake Bortles and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
I can show 2 at once.
And then Blake Bortles and DeAndre Swift, 6.
For 6.
One of those 3s is just going to be Blake Bortles and Goddard. Goddard Hurts. Fun fact, Blake Bortles and Julio Jones scored 3 touchdowns for the Eagles.
They did.
Blake Bortles and Zacchaeus.
Olamide Zacchaeus.
The next 2 is Blake Bortles and Kenneth Gainwell. I'm trying to think of that one.
That's correct.
Oh, right. It was Blake Bortles and Quez Watkins. He had that one touchdown at the end with the great Marcus Mariota that threw it.
Only 2 new names to the Eagles on the list this year, and that was Swift and Julio. So you managed to name them all. Yay! Good for you. You know your team. All right. Now, because we are friends, AJ, and despite all the shit we give each other, we are friends. You tend to watch a lot of Raiders games, and I tend to watch a lot of Eagles games. So if that being the case, can you name every Raiders player to have a rushing or receiving touchdown this year?
I don't think Josh Jacobs had any. No, okay. So, yeah, we could start with the easy one. Blake Bortles and Josh Jacobs.
Blake Bortles and Josh Jacobs combined for a paltry 6 touchdowns this year.
Yeah, it was
pretty bad.
Pretty bad. He actually started off really, really bad. Oh, I didn't look.
Oh, no, I was covering my hat. I was telling my hat not to look at
Oh,
the horrible touchdown numbers.
well, we got Blake Bortles and Devontae Adams, who took a while to him to get going too.
Yep, and he got going for a total of 8.
Most of it was with Aiden O'Connell. I don't know if that's true that
Mhm.
most of it was, but he looked better with O'Connell. I know Zamir White had one in the game that I was watching. Bortles and Zamir White.
Blake Bortles and Zamir White did combine for 1 rushing touchdown.
And I believe that same game, Blake Bortles and Brandon Bolden had a touchdown too at the end of it, right? And that was like the only touchdown
Brandon
of the year.
Bolton actually had 2 touchdowns.
So I must have just missed a game with him in it. Blake Bortles and DeAndre Carter? No, I don't think he had any touchdowns. Let's go with Blake Bortles and Aiden O'Connell with a rushing touchdown. I think he had one.
He did, yes. 1 rushing touchdown. White boy got legs.
I'm not sure if I remembered or not. Blake Bortles and Jacoby Myers. Myers was good at the beginning.
He was good enough to accumulate 10 touchdowns over the course of the season, justifying one of the few good moves that Josh McDaniels and whatever the fuck his name was made over the course. Ziegler.
Blake Bortles and we'll say Trey Tucker because I'm having in the tight end, Blake Bortles and Michael Meyer. He had 2, and I remember the game he got them 2 or 1 at least.
There we go.
Is that
Trey
everybody
Tucker
who had a
and
touchdown?
Michael Meyer. Yep. All right, AJ, that leads us to our last quiz. Blake Bortles and the all-time NFL greatest.
All right,
On
Blake
this
Bortles.
list, we have the categories there, and then who Blake Bortles was gracious enough to share these accolades with.
Well, Blake Bortles and Tom Brady for passing yards.
That is correct.
I'm going to say it's same with passing completed.
That is correct.
Blake Bortles and Tom Brady for passing touchdowns too.
That is correct.
Blake Bortles and Emmitt Smith for rushing yards. No one broke that record unless I missed that.
They have not.
I'm going to say Blake Bortles and Emmitt Smith for touchdowns too.
That is correct.
Let's go to receptions. Blake Bortles and Jerry Rice.
Correct.
Okay. Blake Bortles and Jerry Rice for receiving yards also.
Correct.
And Blake Bortles and him for touchdowns? Receiving?
Correct.
Okay. Interceptions. This is from a DB?
Yes.
Fuck.
I will give you a hint on this. He played from the 60s to the mid-70s. 15-year career this guy had.
Okay, what was his position? I can just say famous defensive players from the 60s.
He played DB and wide receiver, weirdly enough, but he played free safety in his NFL career, and he played for 2 teams. He was drafted by Washington, but
Paul
spent the
Krause.
majority of his career.
Right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Blake Bortles and Ray Lewis?
It is. Blake Bortles, Ray Lewis, and one event at a nightclub.
Couple of murders.
Can't prove that Blake Bortles did anything. Quite
does it-
literally.
For the sacks, is it Blake Bortles and Julius Peppers maybe?
It is not Julius Peppers. That is going to be your first strike.
How many strikes do I get? Because I'm going to go down the...
3.
All right, is it Blake Bortles and Reggie White?
It is not Reggie White. That is strike number 2.
Well, he's
See
tied.
if I can get...
He's tied with Bruce Smith, so he was going to be my second one.
Bruce Smith is correct.
Rushing attempts. Blake Bortles and Emmitt Smith.
That is correct.
Oh, okay. Well, let's play. James, what the fuck's in my pocket, you stupid Italian stinky son of a bitch? I tried to word it like you did. I don't remember it perfectly. I'm not perfect.
Italian.
Come on, fellas. Yeah, it's what you called the game, though. It's the callback.
Oh.
All right. What's in my pocket, James? You know what? 0 hints, but you got 4 guesses. You know what? Fuck it. You've got 2 guesses.
The Godfather trilogy on DVD.
That would be fucking amazing if it was, though, just for I'd never play the game again. Try again.
A 16-ounce jar of Prego rustic marinara sauce.
Incorrect, you Italian son of a bitch, or whatever it is that you called me last time. Here's what I had in my pocket. A printed out page screenshot of us from the podcast of you dancing and twerking on our episode like 15 episodes ago. Ha!
Wow, way to splurge for the colored ink.
Yeah, I don't have a colored printer.
Whoa, AJ, African-American printer. It's 2024. I walked you right into that one. You see that, folks? Just fucking boop.
Right off the cliff.
Stupid Italian fuck.
Let me
So
tell you
easy
the
to set
two.
up. That's why all you guys get fucking taken down in the mob. You're so goddamn stupid. Oh, come to the docks at 2 a.m. Okay, boss. Oh, stand in this bucket of wet cement. Okay, boss. Oh, go for a swim. Hey, wait a minute.
All right, guys. Now it's time for intermission. This time we have two get to knows. We got get to know James and get to know AJ. So what we did, we had some free time. So James invited me over to play his place, you know, what he does for fun. So here's a picture that was taken there. James, tell us about it.
I don't appear to have a penis, or if I do, it's very small. This is me in my Mayo shoes in my workout dungeon. I've kind of got like a Freddy Got Fingered thing going on here where I've got hot dogs attached to elastic cum that I can raise and lower by raising and lowering my body. There's a snake wrapped around the tree and a kind of Garden of Eden aesthetic, which would explain why I'm naked. These are jars of either mayonnaise, cum, or both, if you're lucky. And then you've got a weird noodle arm after I've stuck you into one of them as you're reaching for the forbidden fruit, which is my micro penis, apparently.
It
Also,
is.
Bird with a human penis is on the branch back there chilling. I don't see Bird Dog anywhere.
I
don't
thought
think
about
he was
putting him in
invited
here.
to this one.
He wasn't. And these are all belts around the trees.
Ah, okay.
That
Very
explains
nice.
why it's just... All right, so there's
That
that.
guy is very fit, except in the penis department. There's no penis machine in the gym.
All right, and then I invited him to my place so I could show him what I do for fun. And for some reason, James is also going to tell me about that. You would think it would be me, but it's not for some reason.
Fucking white beaters on clothes pants. Well, it's not too far from where we just were. As you can see, I was able to stomp along in my Mayo shoes to get over there. You've topped your trees in the Mayo spaghetti, which a Bird with a human penis is sitting in. There's belts around the trees, as are wife beaters, and even one red one, presumably covered in marinara.
Yep.
There's you double fisting a beer into your mouth as you stomp tomatoes to make marinara sauce. And there's an angry white lady for some reason down in the bottom right corner.
You
I
always
like
forget
how-
about her. She is your
I
ex
think-
from the KFC.
Okay. I would like to point out that the wife beater in the top right corner is not actually a wife beater.
It's a
a
onesie.
fucking onesie.
It's for my
And
kid. Yeah, I was
now-
hoping you noticed
I
that.
hope every Italian gangster is wearing fucking onesies now and not wife beaters.
So James, he kept the same clothes. He didn't want to change. But I accept him for who he is.
Hey,
so.
look good, feel good.
So there's the get to know James and AJ portion. Oh, I love those. Now we're gonna
That'll be a very
end.
small blur for you to put on there.
It's gonna be easy. The last game, we're not gonna do the West of Sound, is guess that character. James, I'm gonna give you 3 characters like we did. I don't know if it was I think it was last episode during the Jeopardy one. It might have been the one before. Guess the character. It's like a normal character, just with this strange caveat. Oh, that last creamy dollop on my tongue.
Oh, you're me.
Okay, but there's more to it than that. No more
You're
piss dribbling
me
down my balls
expressing
when I
myself
urinate.
Normally.
Not quite.
Oh, you're me with a regular sized penis.
Hot dogs down my gullet. It's upsetting my dog, so I need you to get this.
I don't. It's me
One last-
asphyxiating myself for sexual pleasure, eating
Close
hot
enough.
dogs and mayonnaise in a pretend world where I don't have a micro penis and pee doesn't dribble down my balls.
There you go. It's the last thoughts of James as he's dying from sexual auto asphyxiation. All right. Here's the second character.
As if there's any other kind of auto asphyxiation. Am I right, folks?
It's okay. You can put him inside me. I'm cool with it.
Oh, you're Trina.
She's not cool with it. Marriage burn. No, man. No, it's okay. Relax. Start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little
You're
sneaky
the
is
count from
okay.
Sesame Street trying to pressure somebody into gay sex.
Nope. I hear you like things tied around your neck. Well, my tongue is all yours, baby.
You're a prostitute giving me the hard sell.
Oh, God. Take me off so that the world can see your wiggly pigglies. The more you
We're
sweat,
getting
the better
colder.
it feels. Let me think if I can get you there. God, I love it when you pound on me with each step.
You're a tomato that I'm crushing into marinara to later fuck. I don't know. I don't know, man. We've lost the thread at this point. You're
You
just
like to use
enacting
these.
a dream you had.
You can use my strings to tie around your neck, but they're meant to be tied around my neck. My tongue, I mean. All right, fuck it.
It's meant to be tied around your tongue.
The answer is a shoe who's really into that foot fetish. The tongue tying around the.
I get it now, but what was? Well, how was I ever supposed to deduce that you were a shoe?
The fact that I'm saying put it on me, put it on me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 5 toes. I like it when it's stinky. You can stomp on me. You can put it
I didn't
inside
hear
me. Your
toes.
foot.
I just heard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I didn't
Like
say
you were
toes. That
counting.
would. That's what I.
Well, okay,
That's what
then.
it's.
Sorry, I didn't realize
You're-
we were doing high art here, Shakespeare.
Well, it's the last.
mean-
I said something about your wiggly pigglies. Kids
Yeah,
turn like.
I was so lost at that point. That
You
was not
had
gonna
already
really
lost it.
back in.
All right, I got one more. You probably will get this one, but again.
All right.
All right. We're going to play a game, all right? All right, James, we're going to play a game. Every sentence, we each talk to each other in sentences, but each sentence has to be a question. You start.
You're a bitch, right?
No.
Was that a question?
Yes. Okay, we're going to go to the next game. Listen to that game where we both say one word and make sentences.
Hey,
We are...
you're a guy who intentionally fucks up improv games?
I'll give it to you. I'm a stupid dumb fuck who doesn't understand the rules of the games that he's creating. So you did get that one. I figured you would. It was too obvious, but you got 2 out of the 3. You didn't get the
Yeah,
shoe.
I got 2 out of 3. Ah.
For a second, it looked like that mic was about to eat shit. Eat shit and die. Fuck me. Fuck me.
Sexual style.
Fuck me.
Football.
Goodbye.